people often bring up money, how much money you've made in your career or how much money you're chasing. And even my name has money in it, millionaire. I get it, right? But my focus has never been actually about money. It's always been about information and relationships. I've always understood that those two things were going to be the things that were going to make me successful. So I think if everybody can get that in their DNA and understand that information and relationships is very important and will give you money, you understand the value of that, you always treat every situation like an opportunity to gain a connection or gain more insight. And that will give you confidence, right? When I started, I didn't know nothing about tech. Remember, not that long ago, I was wearing gold teeth. I had a do-rag. Like, I'm way more advanced than I was then, you know? And maybe 4 years, 5 years from now, I'll be way more advanced than I am now, but it's because I'm just consuming information like crazy, right? So I think anybody can do it. You just have to want to do it. And then that information will lead you everywhere you need to go. Like, I didn't know what tech conferences to go to. At first, I had some tech conferences I went to. I was like, oh, what am I doing here, right? But then I learned the ecosystem. I realized which ones made more sense and which ones were right for me and which people would connect well with me. And then I started getting there and I started getting to the right places. I started meeting the right people. And then it just, one thing led to another, you know?
Absolutely.
Seeing a lot of businesses that were cannibalizing the music industry. So that made me curious, and I wanted to learn more about why these companies were able to do something that I felt was damaging our industry. So that curiosity made me study a lot of companies, and then I learned about this thing called Silicon Valley and all of these tech companies. Now, at first, for a rapper, that's kind of intimidating. It's a lot of smart tech engineers, and, oh man, I don't know nothing about that type of stuff. It just seemed boring. But then when upon further investigation, I started realizing that, wait a second, there's something special happening here. All the tools that we use, from Instagram to Twitter to Snapchat, these tools are built by young people, right? That understand social. And I was like, wait a second, I understand social. So I started going to tech conference after tech conference, and I was just curious. I was listening. I was hearing what everybody was saying and meeting all kind of different people, learning about all the different layers, venture capitalists, founders, engineers, et cetera, et cetera. And then once I got enough information, then I started realizing, wait a second, I think this is right for me. I want to start getting involved with companies. So I felt like I had a lot of insight into the way people use social from using social for so long that I started advising for a company. And this company was a company that eventually got bought by Google. And when this company got bought by Google, I was just a person that was helping them get influencers and celebrities. They might say, hey, we trying to get in touch with Chris Brown. I would be like, all right, I'll help you get in touch with Chris Brown. That was my relationship with them. I didn't have any ownership in this company. So fast forward, I was so valuable helping this company, they decided to give me a little ownership in the company, which they called advisory shares. Now, that ownership that I had in the company, when they got bought by Google, I made money. And then when I made money, I was like, wait a second. That's how that works? You just give me a piece of the company and it gets bought by somebody bigger and now I make money? So I was like, wait a second, why did they tell us rappers to go make it rain at the strip club? Like, why are we doing that? That's a waste of money. Let's do this. So I stopped doing all that crazy stuff they told me to do. And I was like, I'm going to go get involved with companies like this. That's when I was really focused on, okay, I want to get more ownership in companies. But it was tough because I didn't know which ones were going to be successful. So one day a VC put all these companies in front of me, and then I ended up investing in a company called Maker Studios. And that company ended up getting bought by Disney for close to $1 billion. So now I made a bunch of money, right? And I was like, wait a second, while I'm going doing that, I'm going to start doing this. And it just became the thing. I started trying to get more and more of my peers to come over here and get in this world with me. The first person, my co-founder who's back there, he grew up with Big Boy from Outkast. So we was telling Big, like, hey, man, you don't need to buy another Rolls Royce, man. You got 20 of them already. Let's take some of that money and put in some of these startups. And then it became like that. And next thing you know, Trey Songz and E40 and a bunch of other people started doing it. And now we all invest in startups. And then,
Amen.
Yeah, that led to me starting my own company. And now I'm an investor and a founder.